Guys, we're going to talk about chemical reactions today. So if you follow along in this video, I'm going to go through the first 4 on your chemical equations part practice assignment. So follow along and you'll have the correct answers for those first 4. So before we can talk about anything, let's talk about what is a chemical reaction. So a chemical reaction is a process in which something becomes something else chemically. So that means that something has occurred to change the makeup of the atoms. In a chemical reaction, the things you start with are called reactants. Reactants react to produced products. So products are what you end up with. There are 7 common signs of a chemical reaction. The first one is a change in color. So if it starts out clear and turns white, that's a change in color. A change in temperature, that can either mean it gets really hot or it can get cold. Either way. Production of a gas, you're going to see bubbles. Production of a solid, this is called a precipitate. And then you'll see like light, a change in odor, there wasn't a smell, now there is a smell, or a loud noise. I often like to think on this last one, anything a firework can do. That's a sign of a chemical reaction. So let's go ahead and do the first 4 on this assignment here. So number 1, it says, what's the difference between reactants and products in a chemical reaction? So reactants are what you start with. Products are what you end up with. In a chemical reaction, 1 or more substances are created. What's happening to the atoms in a chemical reactions? So the conservation of mass tells us that matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atoms are being rearranged. So we're going to say atoms. Oh my goodness. Atoms are being rearranged. All right, and then how do you know that a chemical reaction is taking place? There are those 7 signs again. So remember, if we looked at the previous slide, it said 7 signs. So we have, let's see, light, odor, heat change, see, color change, production of a solid, production of a gas. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, what's the one we're missing? Light, heat. Oh, noise. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and now let's do this final part. So this is going to be our first example of chemical equations. In a chemical equations, your reactants are going to be on the left side of the arrow. Your products are going to be on the right side of the arrow. Because remember, reactants react to produce products. So we're going to do this in some word form, and then you're going to try it on your own, because later we're going to do this with actual chemical elements. So it says, identify the products and the reactants in the following scenarios. Then create a chemical equation using the basic reactants yields products formula. Finally, state which chemical reaction sign has occurred. Now, on the chemical reaction side, a lot of these are going to have multiple examples. So I just need one example, one way you know that it's occurred. So one of those 7 signs that's occurred. So let's go ahead and get started. Also, if you look at the chemical equation, you'll notice that I put the right number of blanks in for you. So keep that in mind. All your reactants are going to have plus signs between them, and your products is going to have an arrow. So it says a recipe calls for flour, eggs, butter, and chocolate chips. The ingredients are mixed together and then placed in a hot oven. You know the cookies are finished baking when a delicious odor fills the room. So my reactants are going to be my ingredients. So that's flour, eggs, butter. My products are what's going to be produced from this. Well, that would be cookies. So let's write my chemical equation formula. And they may not fit in these boxes perfectly, and that's okay. So we have flour, eggs, butter, chips, and I'm going to make cookies. And then what's my sign of chemical reaction? There are several. One of them that's really obvious is the delicious odor. So an odor produced. We also know that we place it in a hot oven, so we're going to have a change in temperature. Now there's some less obvious ones like when cookies cook or when cookies bake, they're going to change colors, but that's not specifically listed here. I only need one of these signs here so you could say odor or change in temperature. So that's what you're doing on the rest of this assignment. If you are confused or need help, please send me a message. I'm here to help you. Good luck, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.